You're listening to an African Elements top news story from March 28, 2025. Please visit our website at africanelements.org for more daily news. UN military ops versus M23 rebels, DRC threats, 2025 DRC conflict. Deepens, M23, UN and regional stakes, by Darius Spearman, African Elements. The situation in the Democratic Republic of the Congo remains tense, especially in the east. A major player in this ongoing struggle is the M23 rebel group. This group isn't new. It emerged from a faction of the Congrès National pour la Défense du Peuple. This happened after a 2009 peace agreement fell apart. M23 claims its fight is to protect Congolese Tutsi minorities. They also say they combat Hutu militias connected to the 1994 Rwandan genocide. However, M23 faces serious accusations of human rights abuses. Reports detail indiscriminate violence against civilians, impacting countless black lives in the region. The group's resurgence in 2022 showed increased strength. They formed alliances with other armed groups and used heavy weapons. This suggested backing from a state actor. Furthermore, M23 expanded its goals beyond just ethnic grievances. It merged with 17 political parties and armed groups, forming the Alliance Fleuve Congo, signaling broader political ambitions. The DRC is a vast nation in Central Africa, home to over 95 million people. Much of the current conflict centers on its eastern provinces like North and South Kivu. These areas are rich in minerals and sit along vital trade routes, making them hotspots for various armed groups. M23's fight for control involves complex regional dynamics, particularly accusations of support from neighboring Rwanda. Evidence suggests Rwanda provides significant military backing to M23. This includes troops, equipment, and training. UN experts reported finding Rwandan soldiers embedded within M23 forces, contributing to the rebels' rapid gains. Additionally, the advanced weaponry used by M23, like drones and missiles, points towards state sponsorship, although Rwanda denies direct involvement. This alleged support deepens the historical tensions in the Congo-Rwandan border region. These tensions involve ethnic friction and disputes over resources, tracing back to the First and Second Congo Wars when Rwanda and Uganda backed proxy forces. Other regional actors like Uganda and Burundi are also involved, further complicating the security landscape. Goma, the capital of North Kivu province, is more than just a city. It's a strategic prize. Located on Lake Kivu, it controls vital trade routes and resources. Its capture holds significant symbolic and logistical weight. When M23 occupied Goma in 2012, it prompted a major international response led by the UN. History repeated itself, according to the provided sources, with M23 seizing Goma and Bukavu again in 2025. This 2025 capture allowed M23 to consolidate control over the vast Kivu provinces, an area spanning roughly 124,000 square kilometers. This move is seen by some analysts as critical to Rwanda's alleged territorial ambitions in the resource-rich eastern DRC. Furthermore, M23's offensive didn't stop there. The capture of Kamanyola in early 2025 signaled a dangerous push towards other key areas like Uvira and Butembo. This expansion significantly raises the stakes, fueling fears of a wider regional conflict and extending the territorial threat potentially towards western DRC. The United Nations has a long-standing peacekeeping presence in the DRC, operating under missions designed to stabilize volatile regions and protect civilians. Faced with the M23 insurgency, UN forces have been involved in direct confrontations alongside the Congolese National Army. Reports indicate UN soldiers fired artillery at M23 positions. This action aimed to halt rebel advances near Goma, close to the Congo-Rwandan border. In response to the escalating violence, the UN Security Council took action. A resolution passed in early 2025 condemned M23's offensive. Subsequently, the resolution demanded the withdrawal of M23 troops from occupied areas. However, enforcing such resolutions and achieving consistent compliance from rebel groups like M23 remains a significant challenge for UN peacekeeping efforts in Africa. The limited information available suggests enforcement capacity continues to be a concern. Amidst the fighting, diplomatic efforts were underway to find a peaceful resolution. Peace talks, mediated by Angola, aimed to bring the DRC government and M23 rebels to the table. However, these negotiations faced major setbacks. In 2025, the European Union imposed sanctions on key M23 members. These sanctions cited the individual's roles in human rights violations and obstructing the peace process, involving travel bans and asset freezes. Shortly after the EU sanctions were announced, M23 withdrew from the peace talks in March 2025. The rebel group explicitly blamed the EU sanctions as a reason for suspending their participation. Sticking points in the negotiations reportedly included M23's demand for sanctions to be lifted and their rejection of the DRC's classification of them as merely a Rwandan proxy group. Ultimately, deep mutual distrust contributed to the collapse of the talks, further destabilizing the region and dimming hopes for a swift end to the violence. Behind the strategic movements and political maneuvering lies a devastating human tragedy. The conflict, particularly M23's resurgence and offensives, has inflicted immense suffering on the civilian population of eastern DRC. Millions of people, overwhelmingly black Congolese families, have been forced from their homes. Estimates suggest over 2 million people are displaced, living in precarious conditions. Thousands have been killed in the violence. The conflict fuels a severe humanitarian crisis, disrupting lives, agriculture, and access to essential services. Furthermore, the region's vast mineral wealth, instead of benefiting the population, often finances the violence. Reports indicate M23 controls lucrative coltan mines, like the Ngozi mine, allegedly generating around 1 million per month. Consequently, this revenue stream helps sustain M23's armed operations, while the very communities living atop these resources endure extreme poverty and insecurity. This exploitation highlights the deep root causes involving competition over resources, alongside ethnic tensions and political grievances. Copyright: African Elements.